Welcome back guys, and today's video is going to be a different style. I've been thinking about doing a video like this for a while, and since the channel is primarily VR, I thought this list style video would be perfect. So without further ado, may I present to you, Mr. Bob's VR Talk. It's that time, you guys. As we are in the middle of 2020, it is just right to be seeing what are the best VR games on the market at this moment in time. This video is also appropriate for this time since many people this year have been getting VR headsets, so it is only right that they get a sense of what game to buy. Do keep in mind that this list is totally in my opinion, and also some of these games came out in like 2019 and earlier, but that doesn't mean they can't be considered 2020 games just because many people could just be enjoying them this year. To start our list, guys, we have our number 5 spot. The number 5 spot goes to Pavlov. And if you're a big fan of CSGO, then you most likely will love this game. The many choices of game modes you can play with is outstanding, and doubled with the multiplayer, Victor Games, you just made yourself a top tier VR game. I must admit, while playing this VR game, I got very motion sick, but thankfully there are things to help with that. However, you cannot truly get rid of motion sickness, so whoever is sensitive to VR, you may want to pass on this game. As far as the gun mechanics go, they are fantastic and honestly really easy to get used to. I think the variety of weapons just adds to the fun. Personally, for the game modes, I love TTT, so if you get the game, I totally recommend it. This game is definitely a good one, and you can get hooked on it for hours. For number 4, we have Blade and Sorcery, which has got to be the best sandbox PvE game out there on Steam right now. The amount of weapons like Pavlov and the maps, enemies, and environment just makes this game so immersive as you chop off gladiators' limbs and heads. The game did get boring in the first few hours within getting it, but after installing some mods, I had loads of fun. If you guys want me to do a tutorial on how to download Blade and Sorcery mods, I would gladly do it. Anyways, I do wish they made severing limbs from gladiators easier, and it would really make the combat more satisfying and fun. This is one of the reasons why I love Gorn, but I am very sad that I did not put it on this list. Maybe next time. The game also does not really affect people who are sensitive to motion sickness, so for all you people who get motion sickness frequently, you're good. I honestly can play this game for hours just like Pavlov, and so this is another great pick. VR game number 3 is Boneworks. I love Boneworks, and for a very good reason. It implements physics very well. Now, a lot of VR games try to implement this, but Boneworks pushes this aspect to the limit. Seriously, I think I've solved some puzzles the wrong way, but hey, there isn't really a wrong way to solve something, right? I thought the game modes like Sandbox and Arena were excellent. They really give more things to do when you finish the story. By the way, speaking of the story, I have to say the story for me was not the easiest to follow. I found myself thinking a lot of the time like, huh? Now this could just be because I'm bad, but I do not think that this game is really for beginners. They do not hold your hand at all in this game. The hints they do give are very subtle, and finding where to go for some levels can be very tricky. However, I got through it, so you can too. Something else that was very annoying as well was the save system and the archive. Collecting items for the sandbox was probably the worst thing for me. There are like no archives in the entire game, and when there are, well, there aren't really any items I have to store at the moment. Now for the saving system, oh my gosh, just fucking stop it. You have to complete a level to save? No, get the fuck out of here. That is so BS, but I guess it does make sense since it makes you stay longer and you get more intrigued by the game. I don't know what I just said there, but I really do think they should change it, you know, and let you save whenever you want, because you know, some people don't have the time to finish a whole level. All of these flaws bring the game down to the number 3 spot. I was really debating whether it should be at number 2, but I just had to put it here. With all that said though, I still recommend this game to anyone, and this game is $30. For what you get, that is pretty good. Number 2 is The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, and oh my gosh, yes! I used to watch the show all the time, but I just lost interest, and you know, they just started focusing on you know, humans instead of zombies, and why am I still talking about the show? The game itself has a more comic feel to it, similar to the Telltale game, which I am actually fond of. The voice acting too is very, very good, and I love how you can somewhat customize your character. The story is great too. It was very easy to follow, unlike Boneworks, and it felt like I was actually in the Walking Dead universe. Having conversations with our good friend Casey and other survivors really felt like we were talking to a real person. Also, yes, I did complete The Walking Dead off camera, and I am sorry. A lot of the time with these story-driven VR games, I always just like to not talk and play. However, if I did a video, I kind of need to talk so there aren't just awkward silences all the time. Now, about the weapons though. Oh yes. All of the weapons have a nice heft to them, making kills all the more satisfying. The environment in this game is fantastic too. I loved looking around at the houses, sky, and zombies as they try to mold my face off. The game has really no problems, but I do hope they make a second game because I need more. I recommend this game to everyone since it is worth $40, definitely. Now, at our number 1 spot. And this game is by far the best VR game of 2020 so far. This is HalfLife Alyx. I bet a lot of you guys guessed that. I have not completed the game yet, but I intend to do so on the channel. With the Half-Life series taking a big 16-year hiatus, Valve finally made a 3rd installment, HalfLife Alyx. Everyone, including me, has just been amazed by how great this game is. Now, even though I have not completed the game, I have still played enough to give my opinion on it. Anyways, the game takes place between Half-Life 1 and 2, so technically it is Half-Life 3, but it isn't at the same time. The story is straightforward, and if you do not know much about Half-Life like me, well then you won't have much trouble understanding what is going on. The objectives are very straightforward, and the voice acting is beyond phenomenal. I love the humor, the animation of the characters like Russell as well. I also love the gravity gloves. Oh man, I was so excited for that when I saw the trailer. The limited amount of weapons in the game is actually pretty good since you don't need to think twice before taking out the right weapon to fight. Ammo and resin was also very scarce in the game, which if you do not know what resin is, it is the stuff you use to upgrade your guns with. I did like how those resources were scarce though, since it really made you think, do I kill the zombie with the shotgun or the pistol? Oh, and the enemies? Ho, were scary as fuck. I think the zombies were the creepiest. I also loved how animalistic the headcrabs were too. They really made you jump every time you encounter them. Don't even get me started with the graphics. I mean, look at this game. It is amazing. I just can't believe how much time and effort they put into this game. I just think City 17 looks crazy though. Like, just look at that view. Now, there weren't really any flaws in my opinion, but I mean, well, what do you expect? It's a AAA game. You really don't see these too often though. So props to Valve for going for it and making a fully fledged VR game. Well done. But yes, I do recommend this game to anyone who is looking for a really good VR game. I'm just saying, it's $60. It's a lot of money, but the story is very compelling. I recommend it, definitely. Alright guys, so that is it for my top 5 VR games of 2020 so far. Did you guys agree with any of my choices? Maybe you have your own VR games you like. Maybe I will show them in my next list video. But yeah, anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.